You already know, possibly, AI is some interdisciplinary subject, right? And its foundations actually are in various fields. And here we just list some very important fields. Know that AI may have its foundations on other fields. Important fields like philosophy and cognition science, because the philosophy and cognition science provide the logic methods of reasoning, foundation of learning, language, rationality. All of these are important to some AI models, AI systems, because we expect that AI have some intelligence, and the intelligence will relate with such philosophy and cognition. Secondly, of course, math. Math is important to many other subjects, to many other study of field, including AI. So it's very important to write the logic and algorithm for machine learning. Good knowledge of math is a must skill to develop a model of AI. Actually, good knowledge of math is a must skill to develop lots of things. Like as long as you are doing some engineering related things, actually math is very important. And then the neuroscience, because the neuroscience provides information about how the human brain works and how the neurons respond to a particular event. Recall that we mentioned that actually the artificial intelligence models, they borrow some insights from our human brains. So that's why the AI researchers always refer to, okay, let's first see how the human brains work, and then let's try to develop the similar mechanism for the AI models so that maybe the AI will have some human-like behavior and thinking ability. So the neuroscience enables AI scientists to develop the programming models to work like the human brain. And specifically, we call these models neural networks, because actually it just borrows the idea of humans' neurons. Psychology is also an important foundation of AI. The psychology studies and finds the process of thinking and of humans and animals, so that we try to let the AI models to mimic this process like humans. And actually, if you have used like the large language model DeepSeek, you'll find that actually there is a reasoning process provided by them, right? This reasoning process, it tries to mimic the reasoning process of humans so that you can know, okay, how the AI get to an answer and respond to you. Computer science, yes, just our department's foundation. Because you need to write the codes, you always need to write the codes for making the neural network for AI. The computer programmers should have very high programming skills and knowledge of mathematics and other disciplines used with AI. And last, linguistics. Know that linguistics is specifically related with natural language processing, NLP, because if we want to let the machine, let the AI model to understand human language, that actually humans use linguistics to understand the language, and there are many studies about the linguistics. So actually the AI researchers, NLP researchers, they all refer to linguistics to design the knowledge representation, grammar representation, so that, okay, the AI models, the machines, should also be able to understand such linguistics. So these are some academic disciplines to AI. And importance of AI. So, of course, I already know the reason that why you want to study AI. You just responded in last class. Here, I would like to provide more motivations for you to study AI, because AI is important in so many applications. First, the most interesting might be gaming and entertainment. AI guides the actions of non-human player characters. I don't know whether you have played the games which powered by AI or not. I think currently some games, actually the NPCs are already powered by AI. And one of my friends in Tencent actually are developing such game, such non-human player, the NPC powered by AI, so that later on, the AI will accompany you to play these games in Tencent. The speech recognition AI can convert the speech to text, of course, vice versa. AI can also convert the text to speech. And for understanding natural language, AI carries out a dialogue with a computer using the natural language. So AI tries to connect you and the computer, and through natural language, of course, the natural language is for you, or for us humans. And the AI should also have the basic programming language so that the AI can be connected with the computer. Then computer vision, AI identifies and locates objects in some digital images and videos, which are quite powerful, because CV, in fact, has a much longer development history than NLP. I think in the last decade, actually, CV already developed very well. And for the expert system you may not be so familiar with. I think in our course 2211, we won't cover so much about expert system. Expert system is the very old AI systems, but of course still very powerful, which was developed and focused on in last century. So basically that's at the beginning of AI development, actually the researchers cared about expert systems in last century. In expert system, AI emulates the decision-making ability of a human expert. For this expert system, if you are interested, I think COMP2211 will cover more about the expert systems. All right, these are some importance of AI. Actually, we have much more. In like more advanced or more frontier applications, like in healthcare, AI assists the diagnosis, provides the telemedicine, assists surgery using robots, monitors vital stats. So this introduction focuses more about how the AI assists the doctors, right? But you probably already noticed that actually nowadays AI can also assist with patients. Actually, some patients, they start to seek for diagnosis with the large language model. I have seen like many people do this. Maybe in red notes, they will share their experience that I had some symptoms. I don't know why, so I just asked ChatGPT, okay, maybe I'm sick in these days, maybe I vomit, and do you know why I will have these symptoms? Can you make a diagnosis based on my symptoms? And actually, the large language model like ChatGPT can give some diagnosis, and the patients will refer to that. But of course, know that the large language models still, they are just some models, AI models. They are not the real doctors. So it's okay. You can ask for their opinions, but don't believe them all. If you feel sick, just seek for a doctor. And for the air transport, AI delivers safer air transport while reducing its environmental impact. Then for banking and financial institutions, AI can automate services, manage risk. And actually, that's why currently, if you want to find a job in the financial institution, maybe in Hong Kong, because we know that in Hong Kong there are many job positions about financial, then probably the company will require you have some knowledge on AI, because they are all like developing the AI systems to make such predictions and to do some functions for their companies. Then for the logistics, the AI delivers goods using autonomous vehicles. For e-commerce, AI personalizes content for the customers to boost sales, and AI filters spam and fake reviews. So that's why in some online shopping system, as well as in some social media, AI are also utilized to do the personal recommendation, right? If you open your Instagram, maybe open your red notes, you will see like many personal recommendations, and these are powered by the AI. So AI will do the prediction, and also for the online shopping. So the AI model will always guess what you possibly like, so that's actually it tries to persuade you to buy more things. And hiring, yes, AI is also used in hiring. So when it goes through thousands of CVs and ascertains if there's a good fit, usually in some big companies, after they receive all the CVs, they possibly will run an AI system to have a first filter of the CVs to select some candidates. But of course, this may also cause some problems, which we will cover in the last class about AI ethics. So those are the importance of AI and actually the motivation about why we should study AI. As you can see, like in many applications, many fields, AI already plays such important role. And then next, I would like to ask for your input about two questions. The first question would be, what are the advantages of AI? Because I think actually if I let you to answer this question, it will be much more interesting than me reading all the listed advantages of AI. Actually, I believe you will have much more interesting and more various, more meaningful answers. So I would like to ask you to participate in this small survey. Yeah, maybe cut 1 minute for your response. So you can just scan this QR code to join or input this code 61901502 to join this menti.com. Okay, yeah, cut 1 minute. No advantage. Oh. Yes, you can try to use your imagination, use your own common sense, your own experience with AI to try to say like what are the advantages of AI. And I believe actually you will think of some very new advantages that I have never imagined. Yeah, we received many responses. Great. Okay, thank you for your inputs. Yeah, I think yeah, it would be more interesting if we can see your inputs. So let's see what you have. Okay, the grouping results first about information gathering. Maybe just click it. Easy to gather information, yes. AI is much more powerful than human when gathering the information because AI has memory, right, and more computation power and can absorb the information. Good at collecting resources, correct? Debug, yes. I think many people are starting to use the AI, the large language model, for debugging. Actually, I think in IDE, many of the IDEs, they already equipped the AI so that you can directly use the AI model to debug in this IDE. Wider knowledge base, yes, of course. Self-learning, yes. There is one machine learning is called self-supervised learning. For self-supervised learning, actually is somehow lying between the field of the supervised learning and unsupervised learning. So it's called semi-supervised or self-supervised learning. Writing emails, yes, it's true because I found that some people they don't like write emails. Really, they don't like to read emails or write emails. So actually, AI can help with that. Explains quicker and better than human Q&A websites. Yes, like previously, when large language model before large language model occurs, if we have any question, we have to like ask in some online websites, waiting for some humans to respond. But nowadays, AI, of course, is much quicker than human. Yeah, relates with efficiency. AI is efficient, more efficient and quick, fast, unemployment. Okay, I guess this would be an answer to our next question. What is the disadvantage of AI? Yes, AI might cause the unemployment, replacement of humans, because AI is so powerful. Fast, because also, okay, yeah. And error reduction. No human mistake. Yes, AI can avoid lots of human mistakes, but in the meantime, don't forget that AI will involve some AI mistakes. No embarrassment for making mistakes on problem because it's not a human. Yes, when AI made a mistake, you told AI just said that, okay, I know that, I will try to avoid it next time, but AI don't need to put any pressure to like absorb such mistake. 30-millimeter answers. Yes, this is the advantage that we are using for these two classes. Stock upside and downside conditions. Yeah, notice some sequences that human can understand. Yes, because usually if the sequences are too complicated or just too long, then human may not be able to understand so much information. A human may just feel overwhelmed by the information, but AI does not have such problem. Great. Convenience, yes, easier and more convenient to do. Right, require low-level continuous effort. Yes, this is absolutely an advantage of AI, easy and simple. No advantage, right? This is the AI mistake that AI tries to group this answer, no advantage, into such convenience. Don't have to be social. I can be toxic. Okay. As a virtual friend, yes, it's called the AI accompaniment. I think some companies are already trying to develop such AI tools as like virtual friend or accompany friend. Creativity support, yeah, a very interesting and a very recent advantage, I guess, that is use AI to do some creativity work, like help facilitate ideation process. Yes, actually you can try to discuss some ideas with AI. Ideation generation, skip the process of learning. Outcome depends on the creativity of individual. Boost the learning process. Focus on more advanced and creative tasks while AI does the repetitive, mundane ones. Yeah, this is somehow different with the previous answers, I guess. Previous answers, I think you focus more that actually AI can help to facilitate ideation process. And this focuses more that because AI can handle all the repetitive works, then humans can focus more on creative tasks. Actually, they are all advantages and depending on how you utilize the AI models. Yeah, cost reduction, simplify many time costing systems and processes. Yes, cheaper than human labor. Actually, this is still in doubt because we can only see maybe the salary of human, right? And we see that if we use AI to replace human labor, it's cheaper because we don't need to pay the humans. But actually, there are many invisible costs of AI, especially in the training and data storage. Because AI requires lots of memory, lots of computation power. Actually, the cost is not so cheap as you think of. So imagine that to train a very large AI models, how many GPUs we have to utilize. Actually, it's not so cheap. But the advantage is that after you have trained a very large model, maybe using some expensive GPUs, then this AI model can be used in many applications, in many tasks. So maybe the cost reduction is in some long way. Reduce some repetitive work, enable people to focus more on innovative ideas. Yes, I think this is previous also mentioned, very good. Make people jobless, okay. Similar with the previous mentioned unemployment. Yeah, I think we have the last grouping, continuous operation. Yes, you'll notice important advantage of AI. Actually, that's why someone think that even though AI will cost so much to train it, but still AI is more preferable because AI can run 24 hours, 7 days without any hesitation, but humans need rest. Simulation on scenarios, yeah, real good. I think you all provides very insightful advantages of AI. Just here, advantages of AI. Actually, I think you already mentioned all of this. Yes, you mentioned all of this, very good. And you even mentioned more than this slide shows, very good. And the next would be, we have to see the other side of AI. I think just now you already mentioned some, but let's see whether you have more ideas to input. The next question, of course, would be, what are the disadvantages of AI? So yeah, I'd like to see your input and what you think about this question. It's in the, I think it's the, use the previous, so you can, yeah, unemployment, of course, just now. Oh, yes, sure. Wait for a minute, maybe. Let's show QR code. Yes. Yeah, give you another 1 minute. Makes people stupid. Gambling. Yeah, AI hallucination. Cannot replace that one. AI cannot replace any human. All right, let's see the clustering results. See how this Mentimeter AI will perform for this one. Right, emotional like, I think this is the most people mentioned. Okay, just cannot provide emotional value. Sometimes stupid, yes, I agree. And high cost of creation, making human lazy. Oh, I think this is so a collective of answers, but very good. You mentioned lots of disadvantages. Yeah, no emotion, lacking out-of-box thinking. You can see how AI makes human lazy just from this answer. Oh, really? So you use AI to answer that? Okay. Low EQ, right? People lose the ability to think by themselves. Yeah. I think for this answer, the emotional lack for this group, actually the AI tries to group the emotional lack and making human lazy somehow together. Sometimes can't understand things properly, make me feel stupid, or may reduce the people's ability to do various tasks themselves. Yes, people be angry when AI can't answer. AI hallucination. Really good you mentioned the AI hallucination. Even though AI hallucination is not in the emotional lack, but AI hallucination is indeed significant situation often occurred. Actually, AI hallucination has already been there for many years, but previously people don't pay attention to that. Simply because for most public people, they won't access AI models. So actually, previously, only AI researchers or only AI developers notice that AI hallucination. AI hallucination is simply that AI makes some wrong predictions, like false positives, false negatives. But after large language model occurs, after so many generative AI tools occur, now public people will all access AI, and that's why AI hallucination becomes so famous, becomes so widely known, because now all people will experience such AI hallucination. I think maybe you already experienced some when you try to interact with the generative AI. For example, you ask ChatGPT some question, and ChatGPT will just make some story to you, right? Made up the story, try to answer with nonsense answers. That's the AI hallucination of generative AI model. And also in the generative like imagery, such AI models like Stable Diffusion, like Midjourney, they all have such AI hallucination problem. So if you give some prompt to the AI, ask the AI to generate some images, it's possible that actually the images are really, really far away from your prompts because AI sometimes cannot understand what you mean, especially if you use some metaphor, if you use some like high-level human language that AI simply cannot understand. This is called AI hallucination. Yeah, maybe I can talk more about AI hallucination because this is really an interesting phenomenon. Currently, the researchers found that AI hallucination will become more severe if we train the AI model with AI-generated data. So that means, recall that if we want to train an AI model, we have to feed the data, right? Like the majority of the generative AI models, ChatGPT and DeepSeek, actually the training data are human-generated data. But the human-generated data are limited, even though there are large amounts of online, but still they are limited. So in order to get a more powerful AI model, then some people may think that why not let the AI model to generate the data and then use the AI-generated model to retrain the AI model. It sounds like a way, sounds like a solution, but after researchers do such things, they find that the AI hallucination becomes much more severe. But basically, it's that even though from our human, they are similar, the data are similar, our data and AI-generated data, they look similar, but still for AI training, the quality of AI-generated data are much lower than human data. And if we continue to train the AI model with AI-generated data, maybe for lots of iterations, then the AI model will simply crash down. Crash down means that it will no longer have qualified performances. So yeah, which is very interesting. Maybe later on I will send you a reference reading about AI hallucination. Really interesting phenomenon. Great that you mentioned this situation. Like a more and more notable disadvantage of AI does not have an embodiment of physical body. It's not only a powerful search engine, yes. Possibly later on, like people will just equip the robots with AI so that it can have some physical body. Bad at physics 1112 and 1114. Oh, seems that you already tried that. Okay. Only focus on probability tokens, so basically just patterns. Logic lists, so cannot think outside the box if info is not provided. Yes, very good. This is a huge limitation of the AI. So it's restricted by the data. Dependency, I think this is more about like for the humans meaning, over-reliance, let people become dependent, yes. If you like use AI, you possibly will rely on AI more and more. It's 5090, yeah. Cannot replace Desmond. Of course, AI cannot replace any human. AI is some model that it can replace some other AI models, but AI can never replace any human. Any human is just unique. Require a lot of GPU space to train, yes. So training AI is really, really expensive, much more expensive than you may think. The GPU is expensive. And misinformation, yeah, very good, misinformation. I think the current age situation, more and more prevalent. Fake information, yes. Very wrong information, especially when quoting academic papers in minor fields. Yes, I would like to remind you that don't believe in AI's informations if you want to write some academic papers. Especially don't believe in AI's provided academic papers. Sometimes AI just make it up. It's just totally some fake papers. Bad answers, yes. persuasive nonsense, yeah, makes people stupid. This is about misinformation. Misinformation, including like you mentioned the fake information, like fake news and some disinformation. All of these actually they are enlarged nowadays by the social media, and yeah, people already noticed that. And I don't know whether you use the X or not. Previous Twitter, X. Actually, in X, I think there are many AI bots there. And sometimes it's hard to distinguish, like the account that leaves a comment to you, whether it's an AI bot or a real human. Hard to distinguish sometimes. Job list, yes, unemployment. I think, yeah, people are frightened by this. Yeah, waiting to lose job and then die. No, don't be so desperate. Still, yeah, keep optimistic about the future. At least, please, after taking COMP2211, you can try to be an AI developer. Gambling, okay. All right, very good. Some people mentioned the privacy concerns. Privacy concerns, yes, privacy concerns actually raise much attention after we go into the big data. But big data is already decades ago. But nowadays, with the powerful AI, is more and more severe concern about the privacy issue. And you also mentioned copyright issue, which is really, very good. Copyright issue, that means if we use generative AI to produce something, actually it may just involve copyright issue. And I don't know whether you noticed or not, like the big companies like Meta, the Meta's large language model is called Llama. So actually Meta was like involved in some lawsuit because the Meta has used some like copyright data to train Llama and get the lawsuit. And I think maybe, I can't remember it correctly, but I think maybe Google and Microsoft, they both involved in some lawsuits because of the training of their data using some copyright data. And digital surveillance, really good you mentioned that. All right, yeah, I think you mentioned much more information here. Yeah, we summarized some of disadvantages there, but I think your answers actually are more interesting and even better than what we list here. I think you mentioned all of them. Great, really great. Even though you haven't started to learn any AI models in this course, but you already have an understanding about the AI, yes, which is good. So before we go into the next history part, here I would like to clarify some confusing terms. You may already notice that in the previous two classes, including this one, actually I sometimes just use the terms interchangeably, which might cause you confused. Like artificial intelligence, one term, machine learning, another term, neural networks, deep learning. These terms tend to be used interchangeably in conversation. Like even me, just sometimes use them interchangeably. How are they related in academic definition? So here we can see that basically we think that they follow such relationship. The most general concept is called artificial intelligence, and the topic we are learning. Then inside that we have machine learning. Machine learning is a subfield of artificial intelligence that provides systems with the ability to automatically learn and improve from experience without being explicitly programmed. Usually we see that machine learning lies here. Then that means actually, besides machine learning, there are some other AI models that they cannot learn automatically. Or we have to explicitly program some knowledge so that the AI can run. All those non-machine learning AI models, actually there are some traditional AI models which researchers developed in last century. And remember, expert system I mentioned in previous page. Expert system is some non-machine learning AI model. And there are some other models called rule-based model. rule-based model is that you have to explicitly program rules, and then the AI will follow these rules. Those are called rule-based. And these rule-based are not machine learning, but they're still AI. And then inside the machine learning, there are different algorithms. So as we can see, you may not see this clearly. This dozens of different machine learning methods. And one of them is called the neural network, right here. The neural network, actually later on when we are learning the perception and artificial neural network, we will define that. The neural network means that it must utilize some neural network layers to develop the model. And we also have a concept called deep learning. Deep learning is a subfield of machine learning. Actually, deep learning is a subfield of neural network, which uses the neural networks to analyze the different factors with a structure similar to the human neural system. There is not very strict definition what is deep learning. Usually we see that if we use many layers of neural work, that is deep learning. So it must to be deep, but actually we don't have the strict definition like how deep it should be. Usually, if the model is very large, you use like maybe many layers, then it's called deep learning. If you only use 1 or 2 layers, then possibly we won't consider it as deep learning. So these are the relationship between these confusing terms. All right, next, let's see the prerequisites for AI. I believe COMP2211 is only the start of your learning journey to AI. That if you want to finally become an expert in AI, what are the prerequisites will you need? First, a stronghold on mathematics. Namely, you need to learn discrete math, calculus, statistics, and probability to become an expert in AI. And secondly, a good amount of experience in programming languages like Python or Java. Actually, other languages may also work like C++. But currently, I think the most popular programming language in AI is still Python. And a stronghold in understanding and writing algorithm. A strong background in data analytic skills. Because AI model, even though we call that is some model, still is closely related with data. So if you don't have the data analytic skills, you only know the model, probably that's not enough. And the will to learn the machine learning languages. Those will be the prerequisites for AI. Don't worry, you do not have all these prerequisites for now, of course, because our course is just the beginning of AI learning. So after this course, you will gain some foundation in these prerequisites, and possibly in the future study of your learning journey, you will gain all these prerequisites for AI. All right, so we finished some basic introduction about the AI. Next, we will go into the history of AI development. Before that, any questions so far regarding the previous contents? Okay, very good. Yes, some really easy and relaxing contents for this class. Then next we will go into the history of AI. And before that, we will take a 5 minutes break. As I said in last class, usually in the middle of the 80 minutes class, I will have some 5 minutes break. I know that no one can focus on the contents like for 80 minutes. So in the 5 minutes break, you are welcome to answer this question. What is the most impressive breakthrough of AI for you? Maybe I will open this QR code again. So yeah, 5 minutes later, we will go back to the lecture contents. Show QR code.
Sir, 这两行其实代表不一样的东西，它其中也会Final Stream 它是环，大家也环。有每一个代码的你有的是 Final Stream， 要不然然后 namespace 就是对一个方法写出来的方式。如果你把这个去掉，把这个去掉，那你每一行就比如说你做的需要，就需要这个人生来，然后编写的是可以好特别好的ST 变化好需要的，然后才能写刚刚好的，然后你就直接需要都要加入这个所以说你这个写的时候，太乖。这个我也不知道。还就是阴的很，你要4根指头，3根。GC 接下来是14了。这个我把这句话是 AI 的吧，或者你会你用我电脑做戏，我很简单，不是你就把那个操作信息贴过去。所以这样。
All right, let's go back to our class. Yeah, let's see what you have. Yeah, I personally very interested in this question. What is the most impressive breakthrough of AI for you? Because I really want to know for your generation, for your Gen Z, what is the most impressive breakthrough? Because I think it will be very different from mine, since I'm like maybe a millennial, that generation, but you are a new generation. All right, let's see this. Graphic generation, yes. Deep Blue beats Casper. I don't know that Gen Z is still like impressive by that one, because that is like very long ago, I guess. Even like when I was very young. Yeah, AI generated video. Yeah, I think this is more recent breakthrough of AI, like all the generative AI. Grok, Annie, okay. 豆包, okay, yes. A recent, very well used model. Desmond Peter, okay. Using real brain cell, really? Using real brain cell. Natural language processing, yeah. Graphic, yeah, this DeepSeek, yes. FSD, what is this FSD? Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, yes, great. Deep Blue, oh, yeah, you still remember Deep Blue, which is really good. GPT, localized AI usage, yes. Deepfake, yes. Deepfake, I think the new breakthrough, although it's not a very good breakthrough, but anyway, it's some bad breakthrough in our century. Great, yeah, you all input the most impressive breakthrough. Yeah, I'm quite surprising that you mentioned Deep Blue, really. Like, because for me, actually, the most impressive breakthrough of AI is AlphaGo, which is, yeah, similar, but Deep Blue beat human in chess, and AlphaGo beat human in Go. All right, then, yeah, I think you mentioned most recent, maybe starting from 2000 year, the breakthroughs. Let's say a longer history of AI development. This is a brief history, the milestones of AI evolution. Know that the AI already started to be born in 1940s. In 1940s, the researchers already built the theoretical foundations you must know this guy, Alan Turing, right? Later on, we will also mention that. Build the theoretical foundations. And in 1950s, this term, artificial intelligence, origins. But that means even before we have the term AI, actually AI already existed in some theoretical foundations. And in 1960s, already we have the earliest chatbots. Right? Actually, is as you can see, is the ancestor of ChatGPT very, very long ago. Later on, we will talk about what is this chatbots. And in 1970s, the researchers focused more on logic and reasoning abilities of AI. Then in 1980s, knowledge-based systems, or actually it relates with the rule-based system, expert system I just mentioned. So these kind of systems are non-machine learning AI models. So it occurred before machine learning. Then around 10 years later, machine learning comes out. So a big breakthrough. Then in 2000, we go into the era of big data because of we have more advanced hardware to store all the memory. Then in 2010s, deep learning and GPUs. Actually, the deep learning development has already some theoretic in previous years, but only after the hardware occurred. That is only after we have powerful GPUs, we can really have the deep learning, because previously we do not have any GPU to support deep learning. After 2020s, definitely we go into the generative AI age. So this is a brief history, and actually we can see some more milestone which related to some people in this, but yeah, the words are too small. Maybe we can directly go into the future contents. This is the, note that this figure is more about the AI development before 2018. So that is before AI is widely known for public. But after 2018, we can refer to this, the evolutions of large language models. As we said, after 2020s, we go into generative AI age. But in 2018, we already have our first large language model, which is called BERT. I don't know how many of you know this BERT. I think BERT is, not so well known, but BERT actually we consider that is the first large language model. It's not known by the public, but in 2018, I'm still a PhD in natural language processing, studied that. And BERT at that time comes out actually is astonishing for all NLP researchers, because we suddenly find that, in the world there is something like BERT, something called large language models, then what we previously researched and studied seemed useless after the BERT comes out. And then we go into some research stage that as long as you have money, then you can buy GPUs, and then you can train large language models, then you will get very significant output for your research. So actually at that time, the whole NLP field seemed to change into another direction after BERT. But note that actually in the meantime, GPT-1 was also developed. GPT-1 is the first version of ChatGPT. At that time, it's not called ChatGPT, of course. It's called GPT-1, the first version. And then in 2019, Google developed the XLNet, while OpenAI is still developing its GPT. So they have GPT-2. 2020, GPT-3 comes out. Or we know that's ChatGPT. And at this moment, large language model and generative AI becomes popular in the whole world, right? Everyone was fascinated by this technology. And it seems that actually, even though OpenAI is not the only one to develop large language model, but OpenAI is the company that make large language model become worldwide known. Then after ChatGPT, of course, because it's so popular, so successful, then all the AI companies start to develop their large language models. So that's why we see that there is a bloom in 2021 to develop all these large language models, like Cloud, DeepMind developed this Gopher, and NVIDIA developed this NLG, and of course we also have like GPT-Neo, GPT-J. And this boom is lasting ever since 2020s. In 2022, we have even more, and in 2023, of course more, and GPT-4 was released in 2023. Note that in 2023, another competitive occurs, Meta. Or previously Facebook, but later on they are called Meta. Meta developed Llama and Llama 2. That in 2024, all of them are still like upgrading their large language models. I just cut the timeline here, but we all know that in the new year of this year, 2025, DeepSeek also comes out. So this is a more recent history of AI focusing on the large language models. Then let's see the text version of this overview. So from 1950 to 1956, we see that it's the birth of AI. And then 1956 to 1974, we go into the age of symbolic AI. After that, we go into the first AI winter. So from 1974 to 1980, there is no significant development of AI. Basically, it seems that everyone forgets AI. No one cares about AI, and nothing was developed. But after this first AI winter, we go into a boom of this AI. So in these years, but it's just a short some period, because after that we go into the second AI winter. But the lucky thing is that after the second AI winter, we go into another development boom starting from 1993 to 2011, because during this period, finally, the scientists and the researchers achieved some of its very oldest goals. For example, it began to be used successfully throughout the technology industry, and the success was due to increasing computer power, so as you can see. Because during this year, GPU comes out, and more advanced hardware comes out. That's why we have the foundation to develop AI. And then starting from 2011 to present, we have deep learning, big data, and artificial general intelligence. This concept we won't focus on this course, but I think you already know that there are like people think that for artificial intelligence, there are called artificial general intelligence and artificial super intelligence. Usually we see that currently we are in artificial general intelligence. So that is the AI can perform some tasks to replace human, can have some human-like intelligence and behaviors. It's called general, so artificial general intelligence. And there is another type. People think that at the last, eventually we may go into an age of artificial super intelligence. Artificial super intelligence means that the AI model will be more superior than human. So it will have like wider, much more power than human in intelligence, and can think of something that human won't be able to do. And also this artificial super intelligence, of course, may just bring some threats, some threatening results. But anyway, we haven't go into that age. Currently, it's just some hypothesis, but still, this topic is being like debating between the essays and philosophies about whether we should develop artificial super intelligence. All right, let's see some details of this history. The birth of AI, 1950. But actually, for Alan Turing, I believe everyone knows this guy, Alan Turing, actually started to think about the questions before 1950. That is, before there is really a term called AI. So Alan Turing, an English mathematician, computer scientist, and usually we call Alan Turing the father of modern computer science. Alan Turing wrote a landmark paper. The title is Computing Machinery and Intelligence. So at that time, because no term like artificial intelligence. So actually, he even didn't name it as artificial intelligence, just call some computing machinery and intelligence. In that paper, Alan Turing asks a very important question, can machines think? And people think that this is the first question that was ever raised in academic paper to think about the possibility of AI. Can machines think? Of course, Alan Turing didn't know that at that time, because at that time, machine cannot think. But Turing felt that some machines would eventually be constructed, even not at his age, but maybe in the future for him. But he also realized a bigger problem is that how would we know if we have succeeded? How would we know that a machine can really think? How would we judge that? But at that time, there is a prediction. It's predicted that by 2000, a machine might have a 30% chance of fooling a layman for 5 minutes. How would this fooling happen? And we go into the famous Turing test. A Turing test was proposed by Alan Turing. It's a test to empirically determine whether a computer has achieved intelligence. The mechanism just runs like this. There is a human, player C, integrator, a computer acts as player A, a human responder, player S, player B, and so one of the human, this player C, will be the questioner, and the second human and the computer function as respondents. Then this human is just chatting with these two respondents. And using a specified format and context, this questioner will interrogate the respondents within a specific subject area. Then after a preset length of time or a number of questions, the questioner is asked to decide which respondent was human and which was a computer. If this human integrator cannot distinguish between human and computer, then we see that this computer passed the Turing test. Of course, it was proposed in last century. You may find that, okay, it's a very old test because currently with the large language model, many people believe that AI can already pass the Turing test, right? ChatGPT, Cloud, DeepSeek can just give you some answer that's really like human. Many of us cannot distinguish that. But still, this is an important idea. So it provides the ideation of how we can try to evaluate whether the machine has thinking ability or not. Then in 1950s, John McCarthy, the guy I mentioned before, coined the term artificial intelligence as the topic of this famous conference. Is called the Dartmouth Conference. We see that this term AI was born in this conference. It's the first conference devoted to AI. And as you can see, actually this is the paper, Dartmouth Conference, and proposed by John McCarthy and Minsky and Rochester and Shannon. All very famous guys in computer science. All those big people at that time published such proposal for Dartmouth Summer Research Project on AI, and actually this is the creation of such term AI. And yeah, maybe it's a little bit small, these words, but you can check the lecture notes to see. And I also provide a link for their proposal. You can see that at which proposal in the text version that this term actually came to our world. Then in 1950s, we go into the symbolic AI. Arthur Samuel coined the term machine learning at that time, reporting on programming a computer so that it will learn to play a better game of checkers than can be played by the person who wrote the program. So yes, the start of machine learning was to play in game. And actually, usually this is the start of many technologies because human wants to have some entertainment, wants to play some games, and then some models were invented. Yeah, our first chatbot. the first natural language processing computer program, or we say the first chatbot, the ancestor of ChatGPT, ELIZA, was created in 1955. ELIZA is not a general chatbot. That means you cannot ask ELIZA any general question, but it's a specific problem. It's a computer program that emulates a log-real psychotherapist. So that means ELIZA was an artificial psychotherapist. And this, we gave an example about running the ELIZA. So for example, after you go into the page of ELIZA, as you can see, yeah, the page, the UI was still very old because 1965. ELIZA asked, is something troubling you? And the human responded, men are all alike. ELIZA asked, what is the connection? Do you suppose? Human responded, they are always bugging us about something or other. ELIZA will continue to ask, can you think of a specific example? And so the conversation continues. As you can see, actually it's a psychotherapy process. And ELIZA will work as this psychotherapist to provide some help to the patients. And this is the first chatbot we have powered by AI. Next, 1980s, after the first AI winter, we go into the boom. Edward Albert Feigenbaum developed the first expert system in AI. The expert system is the non-machine learning, but still, actually, previously we already have some rule-based system. This is based on rule-based system to have a more advanced development. And in 1990s, start from that time, the researchers also realized an important subfield. It's called a human-robot interaction or human-computer interaction. Actually, it's still an important research topic currently. So at that time, Cynthia Brezier, a pioneer of social robotics and human-robot interaction, created a robot, Kismet, at MIT in 1990s. This is Kismet. Yeah, maybe looked not so cute at that time. Kismet was designed to engage in social interaction with humans, making a significant step forward in the field of human-robot interaction. And Brazier's work has opened up some new possibilities for how humans and robots can interact and coexist. Then in 1997, yeah, Deep Blue, several students just mentioned that. Yeah, so that's why I feel very surprised, because I think Deep Blue was occurred before you were born, but you still remember Deep Blue. An IBM computer called IBM Deep Blue beat the world chess champion, Garry Kasparov, after a 6-game match. And yeah, this was I think the live at that time. So after losing the game, the Garry Kasparov looks really disappointing, and all the audiences are really exciting, and yeah, like the audience is really exciting and astonishing to see the results. Then 2002, Roomba is developed by iRobot, which was an autonomous vacuum cleaner that avoids obstacles. It seems very simple, right? It's just a small robot that avoids the obstacles. But at that time, it's a big breakthrough, because actually it tries to sense all the environments around it and try to avoid the obstacles. 2009, yeah, self-driving car. Google built the first self-driving car. Many people didn't know that, right? Because when we mention the self-driving car, you all think about Tesla. But actually, Google built the first self-driving car to handle the urban conditions. 2011, the IBM's Watson supercomputer defeated humans in the final Jeopardy match. I think this is a match that was too old for you. Possibly you didn't know what this match is. Me neither. I don't know what this match is. But still, it's a very difficult match that previously people think that no AI model can beat human in such match. But in 2011, it was broken, because actually AI can defeat human in such a complicated match. Then in 2011 to 2014, we go into the deep learning, big data, and we see artificial general intelligence age. At that time, personal assistants like Siri, Google Now, Cortana use the speech recognition to answer questions and perform simple tasks. Of course, at that time, these personal assistants are not so intelligent. At that time, people still find that sometimes they just can fool these personal assistants. But nowadays, these personal assistants are already much more powerful, much more intelligent than that time. Still this age, Ian Goodfellow comes up with generative adversary network, or we say that's called GAN. In this course, we won't cover details of GAN, but still it's a big breakthrough. And as you can see, in that time, actually, we start to have some concept like the generative. I can explain some logic of this to you, although the technical details may not be covered. In this network, there are two models. First called generator, second called discriminator. So the generator is used to generate some fake samples. All these fake samples are generated by this neural network generator. Then what to do next? The next is we input some real samples as well as these fake samples into discriminator. Let this discriminator to distinguish what is real, what is fake, right? After that, we go back, use these features to fit the generator so that the generator can generate some more real fake samples. Actually, it tries to use generator to beat this discriminator and then let this discriminator to beat this generator. So that now the two networks are models, they are all improving in the meantime, because once after discriminator was improved, then generator will have to be improved to fool this discriminator and vice versa. Very simple mechanism, but actually this GAN has performed really well in many applications. And I think this would be a very initial idea about the generative power of AI. Then comes to my most impressive breakthrough, the AlphaGo. AlphaGo beats the professional Go player Lee Sedol in 2016. Yeah, at that time, I finished watching the whole Go match between AlphaGo and Lee Sedol, even though I know nothing about Go. But still, I just feel like it's really interesting to see. And yeah, because after the Deep Blue beat human in chess, some people hold the belief that, okay, chess is simple. It's common, it's natural that AI can win a human, but Go is much more complicated. It never happened that the AI can beat human in Go, but in 2016, all of these beliefs are broken because the truth is the AI can beat human in such complicated game Go. Then, starting from 2018, most universities have courses in AI, including HKUST. We have COMP2211, our course. Note that actually the first offering was just 3 years ago, spring 2022. And starting from that first offering, actually each semester we offer this course, and we have seen that yes, the course has been so popular. We have so many students here who are interested to learn. After COMP2211, our department also provides COMP3211 Introduction to AI, COMP4211 Machine Learning. Usually, this is a study path. That means after you learn COMP2211, possibly you will further to learn 3211 and then 4211 to finish the path of studying AI. And you can also go to study some specialized topic in these 4,000 level courses, like Introduction to NLP, Machine Learning with Structured Data. Yeah, I think this course was taught by my supervisor, my PhD supervisor. And Image Processing, Deep Learning in Computer Vision, and Large-Scale Deep Perception, Localization, and Planning for Autonomous Vehicles. Actually, there are more. Like recently, we also opened the reinforcement learning course. So all of these are courses in AI, and most universities, they are offering these courses. 2022 release of ChatGPT. So it's the full name was Chat Generative Pre-trained Transformer, a large language model trained by OpenAI, demonstrated the enormous potential of AI for transforming the way we communicate and interact with machines. So it's AI-powered language model, and yeah, I don't think that I would like to introduce more because everybody is using that every day. Then more generative AI release like Bard. Bard is an experimental conversational AI chat service developed by Google right after ChatGPT comes out. Operates in similar manner to ChatGPT, but it has a notable distinction that Bard retrieves information directly from the web as a source of knowledge. The reason is, of course, it was developed by Google. And of course, we know that Google powers this web as the source of knowledge. So that's why they can add such a function that this Bard, this generative AI chatbot, can directly search information. And last a few minutes, I would like to introduce some useful AI and machine learning libraries. I think some of you mentioned this in last class in the survey, right? At least I think someone mentioned the TensorFlow. So typically we have these 4 useful AI and machine learning libraries in Python: TensorFlow, Keras, PyTorch, and Scikit-learn. This would be their comparisons. So TensorFlow and PyTorch are here. This x-axis are the difficulty level to use. The vertical axis are the flexibility to customize. TensorFlow and PyTorch are there, means that those 2 libraries are very difficult to use, but they are very free. So that means it's very flexible and highly customizable so that you can just customize it by yourself. And Keras is here, moderate to use, moderate to customize. Scikit-learn is here, very, very easy to use, but very difficult to customize. Like everything is already rigid. Basically, you cannot customize a lot. Of course, TensorFlow and PyTorch, they are the more advanced libraries. Usually, if you want to become an AI developer, at last, you need to know how to use TensorFlow and PyTorch. But Scikit-learn and Keras are good choice for beginners. Still, you need a process to learn how to use the libraries. So for our course COMP2211, we will focus on Scikit-learn and Keras. Because, of course, we want you to learn TensorFlow and PyTorch, but actually it's no good, believe in me. It's no good to directly jump to TensorFlow and PyTorch if you are just a beginner. You will find that it's very, very difficult to use, and possibly it will lose your interest to learn AI. That's why we start with Scikit-learn and Keras. And pros and cons of using Python for AI. Pros: easy to learn and read, much easier than C++, really. A vast number of machine learning libraries and useful tools are already there in GitHub. GitHub actually maintains the popularity and a large community, so that actually, if you find some difficulties in developing your AI models, just go to GitHub. You can try to search for other repositories, and you will find that actually many projects are already there you can refer to. Yes, many useful machine learning repositories, and it's easy to integrate with other programming languages. Like the most practical thing is try to integrate Python with C++. Of course, Python has significant cons, speed limitations. Python is not so efficient, and that's why sometimes we have to integrate Python with C++. The C++ will work in a low level to provide efficiency, and build upon C++, we can write the Python programming. And Python not suitable for mobile and game development. Python has its own design limitations. Maybe you are not experienced enough to notice that, but I believe in the future you may eventually find that actually there are some design limitations of Python. But don't worry, you can always raise your issue to the Python team so that actually the Python is upgraded year by year, as you can see. All right, that's for today's lecture. So any questions? If no question, then see you in next week.